Okay, good morning class.
Morning, sir.
So today we're looking at factorization. We're on book B, worksheet 3. So at this point we have concluded perfect square trinomial and common factor only, no? Right, so let's look at the first one. The question says factorize. So, are there 3 terms? Yes. Is the first and last term perfect squares? Yes. Let's check if that's the case. For perfect square trinomial, so the square root of x4 is x squared. The square root of y4, there must be a plus between it. So let's check if the middle term works. This first term times the second term times 2. It gives you 2x squared y squared. So which is correct. Okay. Let's look at number 3. Are there 3 terms? The first and last term perfect squares? Yes. What's the square root of x4? X squared. Plus square root of 36y10, 6y5. Let's check if the middle term works. It's x squared times 6y5 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12, x squared y5, which is the case. Okay. The next one, number 5. People, is that in the form of, is that in the standard form? No. So what must I do? In order to factorize it, I need to get it into the standard form. Okay? So I must put this one first. So it's negative x squared plus 2xy minus y squared. So when the first term is negative, what do we do? Take out negative as a common factor. So it's negative into x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. Sorry? If I multiply this out, what's negative times positive? Negative. Negative times negative? Positive. Negative times positive? Negative. So whenever you take out a negative sign, all the sign changes. Is opposite operation. Okay. So it's negative into 3 terms, yes. First and last term are perfect square. So what's the square root of x squared? X and square root of y squared? 1. But your middle term is minus, so there goes minus. And I can test if it's conformance with the second term, with the middle term. X times negative y is negative xy times 2 is negative 2xy. Okay. Let's look at number 7. This is your number 7, eh? Okay. What do you notice here? We have a common bracket. What's your common bracket? A minus 4. What are we left with? X plus 1. We take that out and leave with x plus 1. X, take that out and left with 1. Okay, I think I just made the typing error here. So let's just work with it like it is, okay? So what is common here? X minus 2 is a common bracket. So what are we left with? If you say 6a squared over x minus 2 divided by a common factor, what are we left with? 6a squared. Minus plus, so plus minus. Just leave it minus plus. If I take 4a into x minus 2 divided by its common factor, what are we left with? 4a. But what we notice in that second bracket now? The common factor of 2a. What are we left with? X minus 2. It's 6a squared divided by 2a. 3a. Minus plus 4a divided by 2a. Okay. Normally there is either plus or minus. Okay. People, let's look at B. Fill in the missing value. So here we know that that's a perfect square and that's a perfect square. Not so. So what's the square root of 9? 3. So there goes 3. Not so. What's the square root of x squared? X. So here goes 3.
Mr. Carruthers, please pass the office.
How do we get the middle term?
Please pass the office.
So it will be x times 3 times 2, which is 6. So what is the number that is shorting here? Easy, who got that one right? Okay, most of you. Number 3. You got 4x squared plus y minus something xy plus y squared, which is equal to something x minus y all squared. So the square root of y squared is y, not so. What's the square root of 4x squared? 2x. For the middle term, it's 2x times negative y times 2. So it's negative 4x. Okay. That brings us to worksheet 4. Right, again the instruction is to factorize. What type of factorization can happen here? The link to these questions or the PDF can be found in the description box below. Okay. What is common here? X squared is the highest common factor. So x cubed divided by x squared. What's x squared divided by x? Okay. Let's look at the next one. You've got x into 2x minus y plus y into 2x minus 1. What is common? 2x minus 1. What are we left with? X the next one we got 4a into x plus 3 and 2 into x plus 3. So what is common here? X plus 3. What are we left with? 4a plus. What do we notice in that second bracket? 2 is common. So it's going to be x plus 3. Never do we put that 2 there. No? We always bring it forward. And we are, what's 4a divided by 2 is 2a. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay? Number 7. We got 3x into a minus 2 minus 6 into a minus 2. What is common here? A minus 2. So what are we left with? 3x minus. So what do you notice about the second bracket? 3 is common, not so. A minus 2 into x minus 2. Any confusion there? Number 9. We got x squared into a plus b minus x into a plus b. What is common? A plus b. What are we left with? X squared minus. What do we notice about the second bracket? X is common. So it's x into a plus b into x squared divided by x, x minus x divided by x. Okay. 11. We have 4x squared minus 28xy plus 49y squared. Is there a common factor? No. Is the first and last term perfect squares? Yes. So, the square root of 4x squared, 2x. Square root of 49y squared, 7y. The sign of the middle term. We need to test if the middle term is conformance with the middle term there. So it's first term times second term times 2. 2 times 4 is 8 times negative 7 is negative 28. x1. So it works. Okay. You don't have to show this, we can do this in A as well. Okay. We look at number 13. Sorry? Did we do this already? No, what's this person saying? Who's talking? Right, so number 13. Anything common here? No, you could have taken out a quarter as a common factor. Okay, but you can leave it like this is fine as well. What's the square root of 16x squared? 4x squared. 4x. What's the square root of a quarter y squared? 1.5. And is that plus 14. We test if it's in conformance with the middle term. So 4x times a half y times 2. A half times 2 is 1. 4x times y is 4x1. Which makes this good. Okay. So that's the next one, number 15. So hang on, the first term is negative. So you must take negative out. What else is a common factor here? So negative a is the common factor. What are we left with? X squared minus 24xy plus 48y squared. Now, there are 3 terms, correct? Is the last term make a perfect square? What's the square root of 48? It's not a perfect square. So am I going to go and force the trinomial factorize it? No. I leave it like that. Okay. Any confusion there? Right, next. The last one. Number 17. People, is that in standard form? No. So what must I do? Arrange it in that form, in the standard format. Get it in that form. So we're going to bring the negative 9x squared first. So it's negative 9x squared minus 12xy minus 4y squared. So hang on. The first term is negative. Is there any other common factor there? So it doesn't matter how many negatives there are in this expression. If the first term is negative, you just take the negative out. It's a common factor. You factorize it. So it's negative into 9x squared plus 12xy plus 4y squared. So we have 3 terms, correct? Is the first term and last term perfect squares? Yes. So what can that be? Will be the square root of 9x squared is 3x. Square root of 4y squared? 2y squared. And the sign of the middle term. We must test if it works with 12xy. So it's going to be 3x times 2y times 2. Which is going to give you 12xy. Which makes this correct. Right. Any confusion here? Yes, Michael. Sorry? If it doesn't? If this is not equal to that. If you multiply this out and you don't get 12, if you don't get this answer here, then what do you do, people? You leave it like it. Then say for argument's sake this was 14. But this is 12. No? You just put a line here. And then you say that's the furthest it can go. Okay. As we did earlier on, when it didn't factorize, we just said infactorable. But because there's already a factorization that took place here, it's not infactorable. It factorized, but it just can't go further from this point. Does it make sense? Okay. Any other confusion, people? Alright, so that basically brings us to the end of Book B, Worksheet 4. Did you have to do 5 as well? No.